There you are. I hope you brought your gloves. What do you do when the weatherman gets it wrong? It's supposed to be 71 and sunny. Well, right now the garden is pretty much done. Well, we have our cold frames and we do have our raised bed set up. But right now is the time that we mulch. So come on, let's get some of this mulch together and we'll go on out to the garden. Like I said, I hope you brought your gloves. Now, out of all the ways that I've raked up leaves before, what I find the actual fastest for me is to get a straight line, get my bag, put my heels in it to hold it to the ground. That way you can hold it up. And you just kind of start raking it in. I can usually get a couple stabs at it. And if you're real ambitious, leave that bag sit there, start up with another bag. If you do several rows pretty quick, you got quite a few bags. Then you can put them in the back of your truck and take them to your garden, or you can take them one at a time like I'm going to do. Now I'm pretty set for the second batch, and for a lazy old gardener like me, this is the easiest way I found to get leaves out onto the garden. Come on, let's go. Now we've already started putting some loads in where we pulled those sweet potatoes. I've got a plantain right here. I think it's going to be just fine. We got our leeks there, but we do have some open ground here. Before we get anything started to grow, let's go ahead and get it covered up. And if you remember to put your mulch down, all you got to do is put your mulch down. That's all you got to do. You pile it up 4 inches thick or thicker. I like to pile it up thicker. And we'll just make piles, and then we'll come back and kind of spread it out a little bit. If you're worried about the wind blowing it away, once you get just a little bit of weather on here, they stay a lot better than you think. And if you're really worried about it, you can always put some kind of straw, some sticks, anything weighted on there until they get settled. Once they're settled, they're going to stay where you put them. Now, you don't need to smash them down as flat as pages in a book. You can just fill up your bag. And if you do 3 or 4 bags a day, pretty quick, you're going to have your entire garden covered. And I'm only going to do about 3 bags today because today is Saturday, and you know what that means. It means we go to you and we celebrate what's going on in your garden. Most of the gardens around the United States are at this process. They're getting ready to put the mulch down. That frost came across, most everybody's garden is done. You might have noticed I haven't been out in the garden every day. That's because we were putting up the harvest. A lot of people were. We were making sure it got in the freezer so that we can have it over Thanksgiving and Christmas, the rest of the winter. That's why we do it, because it tastes great. Let me go get another bag of leaves, and while we do that, let's take a look at some of the contributors that wanted to motivate us on continuing to grow a garden. Art Squash finished up with 4 nice summer squash a week before Thanksgiving. Art, your deep mulch garden is amazing. Thank you for the motivation. Fresh avocados and a pineapple right before Thanksgiving. Bruce's Orlando Food Forest continues to provide God's bounty. Bruce, we sure appreciate your motivation, and we look forward to seeing your winter garden. I'm telling you, our friends are just absolutely fantastic. Leave a comment down below, let everybody know how much you appreciate them sharing what's going on in their garden. Now, as the people in America start putting their gardens to bed, our friends down in Australia, we haven't heard from them in a little while. I know their spring is just starting to kick in, and I hope your beds are good and mulch. You're getting ready to plant. Well, I think I'm going to have a few more in me today, but I want to plant a couple things. Yes, I said plant a couple things. I know we're a week away from Thanksgiving. Bok choy's doing real well. Cabbages are coming along fine. Lettuce is standing up. But I see all this open area. And you know me, an open area. And I was clearing off the desk doing this project that I'm doing. I came across some turnip seeds and carrot seeds. And has anybody ever said you can't have enough beet seeds? Now I'm not going to get too out of hand. We got a little bit of room. So I'm going to go ahead and companion plant a little bit. This ought to be fun. Let's just start with some beets. And I'm only going to put in a few. And you know the way we like to do it is a roost out just on top, pat them in. And I'm just going to put a couple in between each one of these. We'll see if we get anything to germinate and if we get any beets this winter. I know, I probably lost my mind. And then here in the middle, I'm just going to put a few little turnip seeds. Now these are little tiny seeds, you know, they're brassica, which also means they're a really good cold hardy crop. And all I'm doing is making sure they have soil contact. With the rain we've had, the soil's good and damp. And then up at this end, I'm going to space these out a little bit. I'm going to put a couple little dents, and I'm going to actually try to grow carrots like you're supposed to. Space them out, sorta. And I'm just going to put 1 or 2 or 5 seeds in each one of these little dents. This is cool enough and these are going to stay damp enough, I believe we're going to germinate just fine. And now we got our planting done. Now I am really happy to see that we got some Swiss chard, carrots, and a bunch of dock that made it through. The dock I'm mostly leaving in the garden simply because it helps the soil and it helps that life in the soil. If it tasted a little better, I'd be more happy, but we got quite a little bit growing here. I'll probably thin a bunch of that out. And as far as our mulch goes, we're just cutting and dropping. So all the old dead stuff, we're just gonna pull down. We're just gonna throw on the ground. We're gonna cover those with leaves and wood chips and anything else we can get our hands on. Well, I can't expect the weatherman to be right all the time. I was able to bring in a couple more loads back here to where we dug these sweet potatoes. Now, it's going to be a process. We're going to do 4 or 5 every day until we get it covered. And remember why we're doing this. We want to protect that life that's in the soil, so come spring, they'll be ready to feed the plants. Because the mulch doesn't feed the plants, it's that life in the soil. And the more you can protect that life, the better off you're going to be. Yeah, they were giants. Now just for part of the cut and drop. Take these down, we'll cover them with leaves, they'll become part of the mulch. I invite you to become a member of this group. There's no obligation, it doesn't cost anything. All you have to do is send in a photo now and again, show people what's possible in a garden, help motivate others that might want to learn how to grow a garden. And the reason we do it is because it tastes great. And then it's just a process of taking the rest of this down. You can do this too. Now, I haven't been out in the garden every day on camera. That's because I've been working on a little project. That book I told you about, The Cycle, Pile, Plant, Protect, and Pick, Metaphors from the Garden. We're getting close to the final edit. And the folks that's read parts of it says it's not too bad. So we're hoping to have that out here directly. I'll let you know. If you want to take a look at my other book, on why the life in the soil works the way it works, there's a link down in the description box below. Both of these will make a really nice Christmas gift. And everything else that I use in the garden, that's on my Amazon store. You might be interested. Well, I got quite a little bit more work to do here in the garden. So until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.